Welcome to the Nerd Party.
I'm Darren Moser.
I'm Philip Gilfus.
I'm Daniel Prue.
And this is City Alpha 3.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to City Alpha 3, a Star Trek podcast here on the Nerd Party Network. I am your host, sitting on the center chair this week. Well, no, not center chair, really, but a center seat here on the abandoned planet. And joined by me, as always, are my two co-hosts, Darren and Philip. Hey, guys, how was your week?
Are you drinking or you drinking Earl Grey tea, Daniel? It sounded like it.
I thought it was like one of those
given that
old,
intro there.
Chairs they got from the Bird of Prey, and so he's just spinning around in it, quoting Shakespeare.
Oh, yeah. Cry havoc!
Yeah. I'm still watching animated, slowly but surely. Just watched Time Trap with, of course, the introduction of my ship that I helm in real life.
Oh, the Bonaventure.
Yes, so that was where it comes from. Is this episode of the animated series USS Bonaventure, because in Starfleet, the fan club I'm in, all these ship chapter names have to be based in canon somehow, and so this was the animated series one.
But they went the wrong way then, right? Is what you're saying.
So, but yeah, so it was good.
What shenanigans does the Bonaventure get into?
Well, it's just an old ship. It's in the series, in the episode they say it's the first Starfleet ship to have warp drive, which of course is not true. So I don't know. You can headcanon it. You can head retro. It's the first with what they consider modern warp drive, maybe of the 23rd century. So,
all right, okay, that's fair. What about you, Darren? Anything exciting going on?
No, just rounding out the end of June. It's like 100 degrees here today, so yeah, summer's here, and just been enjoying catching up on some TV and movies and whatnot. Finishing our James Cameron watches for House Lights, so finished Avatar. So until he comes out with more, we're done with whatever he's done.
You finished Avatar, like, recently, I assume?
Yesterday, yeah.
Have you gotten to the point where you've completely forgotten everything about the movie? Because I think that's where everybody else in the world is. Like,
No.
I don't know anything about it. There's some blue people, and the guy in the wheelchair, and it's like Pocahontas, I think. But
Dancing with Wolves, yeah, a little bit of that. But no, you'll have to listen on House Lights in a couple weeks and see.
I don't want to spoil anything, Darren. But did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie?
I did. I enjoyed watching it again, and I'm looking forward to the sequel whenever it comes out. Visually, it holds up so well. It's a gorgeous movie. Like, it still looks amazing.
But you didn't watch it in 3D this time, I assume.
No, I don't think I've ever watched it in 3D.
I'm waiting.
Okay.
Kids, ask your parents what that was in the late 2000s.
I'm waiting for Darren to pitch his for a topic on this podcast. The what if James Cameron directed a Star Trek episode?
Ooh, there we go. I don't know what that'd be like. The robot people of Altair 4 that are metal skeletons.
Somehow Linda Hamilton gets a part.
Yeah, somehow.
All right. I watched 2 episodes. Well, I mean, besides my Deep Space Nine rewatch, that we're pretty deep into season 1 at this point. So, man, what did we just watch? It was one with the self-sealing stem bolts. So,
is that the Great River? It's the one where they're like trading things. There's like a couple of trading things episodes.
So that was great. But I also watched 2 TNG episodes. I'm going to have to pull up the list now because
Was it Emissary and Reunion? Oh, okay.
It was the Emissary and Reunion. The Emissary from season 2 of TNG, and then Reunion from season 4. Now,
why did you pick those, Daniel?
Well, they do have one thing in common, and that's I don't really love Klingons, but I did want to talk about Kalar. And that's the 2 episodes that she appears in. Of course, Suzie Plakson is Kalar. who does a phenomenal job. Man, I got to tell you,
when she's not being a Vulcan or a Q or anything else.
she's kind of like the female Jeffrey Combs, where she's still all over.
I could say that. Yeah.
Star Trek, and I wish Kalar, and that'll be part of the whole show. But I wish Kalar became part of the show, or at least a bigger recurring character. I got to tell you though, those 2 episodes, The Emissary and Reunion, season 2 and season 4, the production quality differences between those, because I watched them back to back.
Oh, I bet.
Oh man, it's amazing! Like as soon as the opening establishing shot of the second one from season 4 happened, I was like the uniforms and the lighting, and it's like the ship looks great.
Does everything look like it's at a little bit bigger budget by season 4?
How does Skeletor look? Does he look the same in both, or?
See, what I forgot about that whole program was it's 3 monsters. It's not just Skeletor.
I mean, but why settle for other monsters when you have
Skeletor and friends?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I assume you guys, neither of you watched it, just because I kind of got to you guys late on it, which is fine. But a little bit of a refresher for you and the listeners. Kalar is a character that appears in that first episode, The Emissary, not Emissary, which is the Deep Space Nine series premiere. The Emissary features a plot whereby Kalar, who is the human Klingon ambassador, because she's kind of like a proto, kind of like Voyager. What's the Klingon's name from Voyager?
B'Elanna
Help me out here.
B'Elanna Torres.
B'Elanna, thank you. B'Elanna.
Okay.
B'Elanna. Yeah, because she's also half human.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going like in the, governmental role, and I'm like, there was no governmental Klingons in Voyager. Where are we going with this?
No. She also struggles with the temper that her Klingon side gives her, and blah blah blah.
Yeah, but she seems to handle it a lot better than anyone else we've ever seen.
Yes. She's got that whole split origin. But anyways, so she shows up on the ship and solves a Klingon crisis. These old Klingons.
Is crisis spelled with a K?
It's got to be, and a little apostrophe.
Crisis.
I always spell crisis with a Q. That was just me. I was always spelling
Crisis.
So it's okay.
So in that episode, we find out that her and Worf have a past, although they never really delved too far into it. And then in the episode, they rekindle their relationship. They have a outing in the holodeck, and then Worf.
We all know what the holodeck's used for, guys. It's not like they're using it
put on
in another way.
Duty, cleaning duty, like a mariner did that one time.
And then Worf instantly goes into crazy mode and tries to perform a wedding ceremony right there on the spot. And Kalar's like, whoa.
Wait, is Skeletor the officiant? Is that?
Does Worf have to win over the Skeletor in order to impress Kalar? So,
are there pain sticks involved? Because it feels like
they
there
tell
should be
the story
pain
of
sticks
Kahless and his bride killing the gods?
Oh, that would be so romantic. Over the lake of fire.
Maybe we'll see something like that someday. I'm not sure, but either way, it's a pretty decent episode of TNG, and then she comes back again in Reunion, which actually I had completely forgotten, but this really ties into the whole Klingon story. Like, she fits right into the Klingon narrative of TNG,
like the Civil War and Gowron and Duras and all the main players.
This is the episode where Duras is killed and Gowron is made Chancellor.
Now, is the reason you forgot this episode, Daniel, have anything to do with about a 3.5-foot individual that we meet for the first time?
We'll talk about it. We will talk about that. So she shows back up. She's involved in the Klingon political intrigue, and she has Alexander there. And then she gets killed, and so Worf is left with Alexander.
Well, and if I remember correctly, in the end of Emissary, that's the one where she and Worf are dressed in Klingon combat uniforms, and they're pretending that they're running the Enterprise, which is a hilarious scene.
Available in Playmates Series 3 edition.
Make sure that Yeah, make sure the old Klingons that woke up from hypersleep haven't or came back or wherever they came from, don't shoot.
What was interesting about that scenario was these Klingons had been frozen in a deep space mission since they called it the Klingon War. Now, I didn't
One
know
of
if
those
that-
wars.
Which one?
Yeah, I don't know if that meant Kirk's war, Kirk's Klingon War, but it could have also meant, now, in hindsight, retconning, could have also been the Discovery Klingon War.
Was it the Dominion War?
What
Because
did
that's
the
all I
Klingons
want to
look like?
Well, that would have been from the future. That would have been...
The
they
Klingons
looked like
could
regular-
figure out how to
Were
fight
they
a future war.
Were they
Don't tell
bald,
me they wouldn't.
Because if they were,
No, they were not bald. They looked
So
like
Discovery
regular
War.
Klingons. So,
That's true. There's another war there.
but anyways, yes, that is a fantastic ending to the episode. There were some interesting things that I picked up on from watching them back to back. For example, both times Captain Picard is like, "You need to. I'm gonna signing you to Kalar, and you need to help her out." And he requests someone else in both episodes and gets denied by Picard both times. which I
Picard's
thought
having
was
none of it.
He's like,
Get your house in order. Come on, Worf.
the House of
the first
Mo?
time it's like because it's
Yeah, pretty
the first time it's because it's awkward because he hasn't seen her since whatever happened, and the second time it's because he's been discommendated and he thinks that it'll reflect poorly on her. But it doesn't matter. Anyways, doesn't matter. I loved Kalar. I think because of Suzie Plakson's amazing performance, she's a really standout character to me, and I wanted to talk about what if they didn't kill her in this episode, and what if we kept her around? How would we want to see her integrated either into the show as kind of a major player or maybe as just a minor recurring role? Maybe if we just eliminated Alexander altogether, which is, of course, going to be my vote. But well, before we do that, let's just start with overall impressions of Kalar. Philip, you like her as much as I do, or do you think she's just set it and forget it?
No, I mean, she certainly makes a meal in a good way of her guest spots in that role. And of course, as much as I love TNG, as much as we love TNG, they're not known for their long form storytelling necessarily, and so I think it falls into that trope that much even today that TV does of like, and then they're pregnant. And I'm like, yeah, that kid lasts for like ever. Like you can't just use a kid in an episode, right? Like once the character has a kid, they have a kid, and so that's kind of like, he has a kid, and I mean, I don't know what we'll do now, but anyway, but yeah, I like you said, and not having watched it recently, but the brilliancy of her. She's basically like a Vulcan with emotions. It's like a somewhat even-tempered Klingon with emotions, and so I like that she's sarcastic and that she sort of puts everyone in their place, but in a good-natured way with a smile, I suppose, and so. Yeah, I know. I definitely like her. I mean, my pitch is that we could pull a Section 31 trip and just say like what we saw in TNG, quote unquote, happen, and then like she shows up in Deep Space Nine because she wasn't really killed. It was all a trick.
Oh. Okay, we'll talk about that. Darren, what do you think about Kalar? Again, only 2 episodes, but did make a lasting impression, at least in one small way. But what are your thoughts?
No, she did. I think she was a great character, and I agree with all of us where I think it would be better if we had seen her more. And I don't know what that would entail. I mean, would we make her like a permanent like adjunct on the Enterprise where she's like
2 Klingons?
So someone's actually taking care of Daniel, or not Daniel.
What? I'm right here.
Taking care of
Daniel's favorite
taking
character.
care
That's what
of-
you meant.
Yes, Daniel's favorite character, Alexander. But I mean, I think we could work that out. I honestly feel that she has such a strong character that I don't think it would be negatively impacted by being on the Enterprise. Meaning versus like a reoccurring like she shows up randomly,
Like Q.
Yeah, I don't know. It'd be interesting to see just what we propose. But that's the way I'd rather lean. Is what would it be like if she's on from season
She's
4
the Chief
on,
O'Brien of Klingons.
on. Yeah, not that she has to be on the bridge all the time.
He
but,
wasn't either.
We could give her some sort of role.
Oh, I thought you were going to say some sort of chair.
Well, or some sort of role, or some, just kind of like how Worf was brought on to help be a liaison with Klingons in DS9. Have Kalar have that role, because Worf's not going to do that in the TNG era.
So here's my thought, and again, we can discuss this. But my thought is, as much as I would love to have, like what you're saying, Darren, have her as a character on the ship. Just TNG just didn't do that sort of thing a lot, especially with like someone new like that. And I don't think it would be great in that way. I think what would work for me, we at this point in TNG, especially in season 4 on, we go to Kronos at least once a year. So
That's
there's
true.
no, like, she could be in some official capacity. Like, for example,
Deputy
in the
Chancellor.
episode. Well, in the episode Reunion, Gowron comes to her and says, if you help me, I will give you a seat on the council, I will give you a ship, I'll give you whatever you want. And so maybe she becomes maybe a counselor, maybe some
Is
other
she going to have
role.
joint custody with Alexander, and he has to go back and
See,
forth?
This
Oh,
is
Lordy,
the
here
brilliance
we
of
go.
my plan. Alexander only shows up in those episodes. He only shows up. So he lives with his mom.
Right.
He lives in Kalar, but Kalar can still show up. Once a year, or twice a year, maybe twice a season. That way you can still see her and Alexander and still do those silly episodes, but you don't have to explain it all the time. Like literally, like you were mentioning, Philip, he has a kid all the time now, but
Right.
the writers never remember that. And like at the end of the episode, he's like, "Well, you can go live with my parents in Russia," and it's like, you're already getting rid of him. What was the whole point in bringing him here in the first
Yeah.
place? Like, what? I don't know why we're doing that. So I think it kind of rides the line of
That was a
best of
big
both worlds.
change to make, and then they didn't do anything with it. It's like, okay, so why did you give Worf a child? Like, you didn't
Because it
have
was a
to do
dramatic
that.
for one episode. And that was
Yeah, well,
And then he takes a
people don't
blood
remember
bath.
Star Trek. It doesn't matter if it looks good. No one's ever going to watch this again and again. And
I
in
like that
HD.
she's assistant to the Chancellor. I like that.
Assistant
Assistant
Chancellor.
to the
No.
Chancellor, I believe, is what the deal is now.
Well, on the council, that's Councilwoman Kalar.
I like it.
All spelled
Yeah,
with
yeah,
K's. And I think I like that thought. And then, like you said, we're on Kronos once a year at least for the rest of TNG. And there's some later ones where, like the Klingon Civil War arc, where we're there for a bit. So have our, Klingon correspondent, boots on the ground, reporting in.
Correspondent spelled with a K.
Of course, spelled with a K. Everything is spelled with a K.
No, I do like that. I do like, because now I'm trying to which I can't. I'm trying to think of every Klingon episode that happens after season 4. I mean, like, does she show up? Do we get some sort of reference? Which I know is not a Klingon episode per se, but like during unification. I mean, that's just part of the Romulan Klingon plot. Do you what else do you get from there? But
Redemption. She'd show up in Redemption for sure, because that's
Civil
that's
War.
big about the Duras.
Right,
Of,
right. Yeah, that was
Do
what I
we
was thinking
get-
of, is the Civil
sorry,
War.
this is jumping ahead. But do we get rid of Worf's brother? Nothing against Tony Todd, and just have Kalar kind of fill that role.
Kern is already
Is he?
established
Sorry, I
at
couldn't
this
remember.
point.
Sorry.
Yep. Yep. So no, it's fine. You can have both. They could be like buddies, like Kern and.
Would it be
Kern
like,
and,
in Deep Space Nine, they had their Ferengi episodes? We could have our Klingon episodes where it was like Worf,
Yeah.
Kalar, Kern, Alexander, that's Nog, I guess.
Yes, exactly. Gowron shows up,
Uncle Gelrod.
all crazy
Yay.
eyes. Amar talks. So here's one of the really good ideas of this whole plan that I had was that we could continue Kalar's story
Deep Space
into
Nine.
Oh.
Deep Space Nine.
You're right.
That would definitely shake things up and change things. Although maybe
I think
not.
there has to be some
Maybe
sort of
not.
episode in Deep Space Nine where he has to basically, like, some stupid Klingon ritual before he gets super serious with Dax, he has to sort of like, I have my...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say baby mama, but I mean, I have, my, I have to go, whatever, not divorce her because they're not married, but, something stupid.
Oh,
And
that's
then-
true. I forgot about Jessia. So how would we pursue that relationship with Kayla
I think
still
it's
in the
easy.
picture?
I think it's easy enough, especially since Worf is, if they only see each other like once a year or whatever. At some point, I think Kalar herself, we could give her the agency and have her be like, "Oh, I live on the homeworld.
I met someone.
I found this new guy." Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Not Gowron because he dies.
Gowron though.
His name is Buras. His total
His name's Borf.
Borf Buras.
He's an attorney, Klingon attorney. He's teaching Alexander a lot of good stuff. I mean, he calls him Ron. I don't know why. That's not his name, but
I like that though. You could definitely deal, and I don't know if you would do that in TNG or do it earlier in Deep Space Nine.
we can't do too
I'm
early. It's
not
not there
sure.
until season
I don't
4.
know. Yeah, but you could easily do that, and then every time Gowron shows up in Deep Space Nine,
Which is
she's there.
Yeah.
she's just there. She's
Does that
part
mean
of
she
that
becomes
group.
chancellor
She's like his
instead of
aide.
Bartok?
Well, she could be like his aide de camp or something. Like she's
Yeah.
high up. I don't know
Yeah.
the exact rules, but oh, that's a good point. Is then does she become chancellor? I don't know.
She's there. Maybe she helps Worf make the decision because at that point because when that happens, Worf kills.
Right. And they're like,
Gowron.
Worf,
Right.
Worf, Worf. And
And-
he's like, Martok.
Yeah, they're all, like,
Martok.
trying to
They're
give Worf-
Martok.
Maybe she's the one that helps push that in that direction.
So she
I don't know.
pushes Gowron? Is that what you're saying? And then lets Worf stab him?
She
I think that would be just.
she crouches down behind him while
Puts him foot out.
and shoves him through that tactical display. It's like, oh, Klingon tag team, no dishonor.
See,
But
so the one problem I have with my idea and even what we've been talking about is she shows a lot of disdain for Klingon ritual and custom and
Right.
culture throughout her 2 episodes. She's just like, this is all nonsense. I don't want to do these rituals. This is silly. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much struggles she would face because of her half human heritage, but you could make that part of her arc as well.
There's an
so I'm not
interesting
sure.
way to go. And again, I haven't watched Deep Space Nine recently. But, you don't have to necessarily address it in Way of the Warrior, parts 1 and 2. But that season, which of course is like, we're going to do Klingons because Worf, I guess. I know we're doing this Dominion thing, but Klingons. But I think, there's some episode, 4 episodes later, what is Kalar up to? Because obviously she would probably not go with Gowron, attacking the Cardassians. And so maybe she's been sent somewhere or she's fled somewhere or something. Or she's reestablished herself somewhere. And so we could explore what she's up to now that she's sort of been kicked off the council or something.
That's going to be the main question is what side of the aisle is Kalar going to be on? And maybe she could be much more Klingon traditionalist and with the old
Leader of
ways
the
or
opposition
something
party.
like that.
I don't know how Klingons. I don't know if the
Yeah.
council has political parties, but she's sort of like. Yeah.
They do. They die at the end of their term.
There's
it's-
right-handed bat left people and left-handed bat left people. I think those are the 2 parties. Yeah.
Well, one Klingon party is the Targs, represented by and
Because I'm thinking if you're going long form, just because I was looking at Klingon peace treaties, don't ask, recently. And so, eventually, because of the Dominion threat, they reestablished the Khitomer Accord, so she could be back in the good graces, through some story with Gowron. Maybe she gets, promoted to, like you said, deputy chancellor at that point. But anyway, but you could play with that role.
or heck, she could be the captain of his flagship.
Oh, that's true.
Or some sort of role
Captain Kalar.
where she's
Yeah.
there, but with a K.
Yep.
And
Captain Keeler.
because then every time Gowron's there, she's going to be there because, of course, she's flying his flagship, the whatever.
I would love
it's
to
called.
know the weird Klingon ranks because, in Starfleet we have captain, and we have like
Oh, yeah.
Commodore, and then we have Admiral. I wanted to have like whatever's above captain in Klingon.
Well, it's Kronos 1, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what we call it?
Klingon homeworld, home city 1. Yes.
Yeah.
It's so weird. Even in these episodes, when they're talking, like 2 Klingons are talking. It was Duras and his buddy, and he comes up to Duras and he goes, "We have a transmission from the Klingon home city, or whatever he said, capital city." And I'm like, why don't you just make up a name, man? Why is
That's like
why
me
is this
saying,
so
"Hey,
difficult?
Philip, I have a message from the capital of the United States of America."
So like,
Incoming transmission from Earth planet. I don't know what's going on.
Earth planet Eastern Seaboard. Oh, okay. What does that mean?
I was like, what? So like, we have a call from Montpellier, and you're like, sure, that's. I assume that's the Klingon capital. I don't know.
You know what it is? It's when somebody calls you and you don't
the
recognize the area code, and you're like, what is going on here? I guess I don't know, but
So we're getting a call, but we put it to voicemail because we don't know. We're gonna check the computer.
Gallon's voicemail is like, "Listen to me, you pata. Do not leave a long message, or it will be the end of you and your house."
They're checking the ship's computer to see where the number comes from before they answer the call. You know.
25-digit number to call from the capital of the
If
Klingon
it's
homeworld.
important, they'll leave a message.
So I was thinking also that if we were going to do this all the way
Sorry,
into
one last thing is with Klingon answering machines, you have to put your palm on it, and then it stabs you to retrieve your message. Because all messages machines involve stabbing.
Of course. Yeah, but if we were going to go all the way to Deep Space Nine, Deep Space Nine with Kalar, we could still have her, meet her demise if
Which
we
what
want
Deep Space
to.
Nine would do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know
Dominion
when
War.
that would happen.
I mean, do you know how many people died during the Dominion War, Daniel?
A lot of people died in the
Yeah.
Dominion War.
And then you could still do the Alexander has to come home and grieve.
Ooh,
and,
what if I mean, this would be a bit of a twist, but what if instead of because wasn't Martok a changeling?
Well, I mean, yeah, yes.
No.
yes.
No, Gowron was.
No, the rumor was Gowron was a changeling, but it ended up being Martok.
Right, but Martok actually was.
Yes, because Martok was stuck in
yeah.
the Dominion prison where Bashir shows up and Worf does.
Yeah, so both Bashir and Martok at different times were changelings. So what if instead of that, Kalar was, and so she never comes back from Dominion, like she's
Well, we
dead.
never know.
And so we never know, but it's implied.
They Thomas
Yes.
Riker her?
Yes.
is what
Oh
you're saying?
God!
Okay.
She
All right,
takes
I'm
off the
fine with
ridges.
that.
I don't
That'd
know
be
what
good.
you're saying. Anyway.
Well, because then it was a twist when that was. Martok,
Well, we didn't know who Martok
even
was.
more
I thought
so.
the cool.
Right,
yeah.
but that's the thing. This would be even more of a
It
twist.
was sort of like when we.
And then you'd have to have, to be as dramatically powerful as possible, you would have Worf kill the
Klingon changeling
the
Kalar.
changeling Kalar?
Yeah.
Okay. I get what you're saying. Yeah,
Changeling with a K, of course.
Or what you could have is somehow Alexander kills her without knowing, and then it's Alexander who discovers that his mom's been a changeling the whole time. Or not the whole time, but you know what I mean.
Or are we having some like terrible moment where like Worf and Changeling Kalar are like fighting, and Alexander has the gun, and Worf's all like, "Shoot her!" and she's like, "No, shoot him!" And it's all like, "It's not your mother." And it's like, "You're not my father." It's like,
I'm going back to live with Ron.
I'm going back to Borf Buras, my stepfather.
So, just while you brought it up, let's just briefly talk. I'll give this 5 minutes, and I'm going to time it, and I will literally cut everybody off after this. But let's talk about how Alexander is affected and changed as well. Because here's the thing. The TNG writers didn't know what to do with him.
No,
the
they
Deep
didn't.
Space Nine writers didn't know what to do with him. Nobody knew a good place to put Alexander, or how he's just kind of this doofy, doesn't fit in anywhere kind of character that doesn't do anything ever. So I
think
don't know, how would this help that at all?
I would think do it as a road not traveled kind of thing. So we're seeing Alexander as we see Kalar in these visits and stuff like that. And Worf has a sense of like, maybe I should have taken that road and gone back to my homeworld and been, with my people. And he has kind of regret from that. And eventually they're able to help him move past that. And, then he marries Jadzia and, he's satisfied with his own path that he's taken. But, I mean, if every time you're seeing Kalar, I'd say like of all the episodes we see Kalar, at least a half of them we should see Alexander. And we're seeing him grow up and but he's growing up, and Worf is always feeling regretful about that choice.
For Alexander, because I know, you always want with a character, you want to have conflict, and then with an alien character, you want to explore culture, but I think with Worf, we get it. And so I think with Alexander, what would be the interesting thing with how they deal with alien characters of mixed background or mixed culture, just have Alexander be like someone who like really is into being human. Like, he eats hot dogs, drinks root beer. Like, he's just like,
he loves root
fully
beer.
Embraced his human and his part, and not. I mean, he's Klingon, full Klingon. Well, he's not full Klingon.
Right.
You know what I mean?
He's 75% Klingon.
He's
But
one
he's
quarter
just gone
human, and he loves that
whole
quarter.
Human culture, and so like.
So he's rambling about like how great Zephyrin Cochrane was, like he's
how into baseball he is now.
Oh, jeez.
And to be fair, I mean, she says pretty early on, I'm going to let him do what he wants to do, and he doesn't want to be rah-rah warrior Klingon, and even in that first episode. So that kind of tracks. Like, I can definitely see her encouraging him to do what he wants. But in this scenario where we put them on Kronos, he's going to get bullied. He's going to get... what's his motivation? Because like his dad's not human, his mom's only half human.
He goes
like,
to the human school because they have a Klingon or Earth ambassador, right?
The human school.
Yeah.
I don't think
there's a human school on Kronos.
I don't think there's a big human
Well,
population.
they have an Earth ambassador, or
be.
Federation ambassador there, right?
Yeah, I guess I don't know. Maybe
he watches
okay,
Federation
fine,
TV, FTV, FNN.
So basically, he would be reverse.
Yes,
Worf.
that's what I'm saying. And so, like, maybe it's that because he doesn't have it,
Reverse
but
Worf.
he's like has like studied how to be human, and so he's like, wrong.
And he still gets it, just like Worf does. He gets it wrong-ish. It's like he understands it, but he's never lived it. So it's like he's like always like getting something just off. That'd be interesting. I could see that being interesting.
Like for his day of honor, he has a birthday cake.
Yeah, okay. I like that. Okay.
What is
I can
this?
get behind that.
Yeah, it's how it's how we celebrate things. The cake.
I mean, see, and that's the thing too. Like in TNG, that's kind of where they push Alexander to being like, I don't want to be a traditional Klingon dude. And then in Deep Space Nine, he kind of has like a change of heart. I don't know.
I'd have to watch the episode again. But I know he was in more than one because he was in the marriage or wedding episode too. He was cordially invited, unlike some people. But I don't want to go there. But he's just such a dull. I mean, that was such a turn. Like, because I mean, look, I know you don't like him, but like the kid Alexander was kind of cool. Oh, I mean, he had character, he had personality. I mean, he's kind of grown up for being a kid. About I don't want to be a Klingon. I just want to be cool. I want my dad to spend more time with me. And it's like, okay. And then like he's just this dopey 22-year-old. And you're like, what the hell? Where did that turn come from? Tripping over himself and
Maybe it's not
puberty
just
was not
his
kind
humanity.
to him, is all I'm saying.
Maybe it's not just humanity that he's like focused and obsessed with. Maybe it's his dad, his almost absentee father, and it's like the Federation that he's obsessed with. Because
I'm obsessed with this Federation because my dad chose it over me, so it's got to be something great.
Into it,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's been 5 minutes. No more Alexander talk. So do you guys? There's like plenty of opportunities here. We've already talked a bit about Deep Space Nine as well, but what about later on TNG? Is there anything that you think we could mix something up? Like maybe we remove.
She shows up in parallels for one or two scenes. She's Worf's wife or something. And then it's Troy.
Yeah,
that would be cool. Or even in All Good Things in future time, Worf. It's like it could be Worf and Kalar.
She's the first lady of
all
Hottoria.
gray-haired up.
Yep.
Yeah,
A small
or something
Klingon
like
colony near
that.
the border.
Yes, Worf and Kalar.
could she show up in the movies at all? Let's think.
Why are you here,
Well,
Kalar?
I don't think so.
I was just in the neighborhood. Aren't you on the way to Kronos?
Worf and I were having a once-a-year luncheon. Just
We were
happened to be today,
exchanging,
so we'll have to delay.
Alexander in the parking lot, and
Yeah, we'll have to delay your return to Kronos for this adventure,
wait a minute.
Kalar.
The Worf was on the Enterprise in Nemesis because of the wedding, right?
yes.
Yes.
So you could easily have her
Plus
come
one.
on.
Is she Worf's +1?
She's +1, and
Well,
she's
wait.
already
So
a dignitary.
I don't want to put a fine point on it, but he's in Rebound already. I mean, like his wife. His wife
God, I
just
forgot.
died, and he's already like,
got-
you know who I go to cry? My baby mom.
Nemesis.
Kalar.
Nemesis is 2 to 3 years after the death of Jadzia, so
That's still weird to be like, well, my
Well,
original
it's
sort of
not
Klingon
weird,
wife
weird.
is going
I mean,
to
it's
come with me.
understandable, Maybe that was.
You know, the internet forums are going to be like, guys, what about Jadzia? Shouldn't
What about
she
her?
be there? No. Yeah. Well, because, I mean, the only other one is like Insurrection. And
yeah. Well, no, Jadzia's still alive.
no, I think
that's a
she's.
good question. That's
We'll have to check the
we'll have to look
timeline.
at the timeline.
But I think
don't
he's
know.
married by then, and I think that's never brought up.
exactly. So it's these people
Because I don't want to talk about how they never got
Yeah,
invited
no
to
one's
the
ever
wedding.
like,
Because no one's going to
congratulations,
mention it.
Worf.
Nobody
And then
brings
Nemesis,
it
someone's like,
up.
sorry
Yeah,
about your
nobody
dead
brings-
wife. And so, like, I mean,
Yeah.
no.
I hear that Turnabout is fair
Yeah.
play, so whatever, man.
So, I mean, well, guys, are we throwing Generations
Yes.
just right out? I mean, could we?
No, I'm kidding. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Well, that's actually that's a really good point because that's the only TNG movie that has Klingons in it. So why not? Why couldn't she be
True.
there?
Maybe she's. They contact her because they're trying to find out information about the Duras sisters. Because as the antagonists, I happen to know someone on the council. Boop boop boop. Speed dial 1 for Kalar.
Well, and remember, Duras is the one that killed Kalar in the first place. So she, in this alternate history where she wasn't killed,
She was
definitely
almost killed by Duras.
She was almost killed by Duras, so she probably would know stuff about.
Well, actually, here's a question: if Kalar is alive, is Duras alive? Because would Worf have killed him if he hadn't killed Kalar?
He would not have killed him.
So is he still the
Maybe
weenie
it's-
head of the
or-
Duras family?
I mean, I'm not trying to.
The shadow puppet behind with the Duras sisters
I
behind
mean, it could have
him.
been sort of like a. I mean, this is not a good example. Could be a Romeo and Juliet situation where, like, we thought Kalar was dead and he freaked out and went to go attack, and then like she just like wakes
even
up
worse.
like a minute later, like she's covered in blood, but she's like, oh wait, where'd Worf go?
Yeah. Oh, they just knocked me out with a hyperspray. A very un-Klingon-like thing to do, but it happened.
And then Worf's like, Alexander, look at your dead mother. Oh, there's a pulse. Okay, never mind. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah,
Worf-
but now you have
check.
Picard having to deal with Worf killing someone for basically no reason.
I mean,
It makes it
he
harder.
was provoked. Dead wife or
Klingons,
dead baby
yeah.
mama.
But she wasn't dead. That's the thing. Did
No, well,
you check Mr. Worf before you?
No, you. I mean, it's easy enough to retcon this. You would just say that Worf entered the room as he was attacking Kalar, and then he can still
And
kill.
so
Duras.
self-defense.
Well, he's just chasing after
Got
him.
it.
And then we can get like a nice chase scene.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. he hops through the transporter beam.
Worf's like screaming at him like he's just out for blood.
He enters a rage.
Yeah.
Klingon rage. All right. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, I just think it would be more interesting to then have Duras and the Duras sisters like all intermixed and working together, just because we would have that change if he survived.
But he's gonna die. So in a reunion, he would have to fight Gowron anyways. so he would have to die.
Oh yeah,
to-
I'm
to
just saying
make
he
way.
wouldn't die at that moment.
Yes.
Yeah. You could always have Gowron kill him.
I was just saying more because, again, the reason Worf kills Duras is because he killed Kalar. So by that logic, if Kalar isn't killed, then he wouldn't
Killed
have a
with-
reason
killed
to.
with a
But
K.
we could find a reason.
I assume maybe like he can always.
Killed's already
okay.
spelled with a K.
But yeah.
Duras needs a lawyer after trying to kill
Ron!
Kalar, and he calls up Borf Buras, Klingon attorney at large.
That's how it's weird. People have met weirder ways to.
It's literally just Worf. It's just Michael Dorn's stunt double in like a hastily applied, with the original season 1
the
prosthetic, because they couldn't. They finally found it.
That's funny. I like it.
I feel like we were going somewhere else just then, and then it just left my head. Yeah. Okay. What other places would she show up? What other? She could show up in Generations. She could also show up in the Deep Space Nine first season episode with the Duras sisters. She could be pursuing them, I guess. But of course, like Way of the Warrior, we already mentioned. Later on in the war as well. We mentioned redemption.
One thing I do, you talked about our changeling or killing her off. And you said, like everyone Worf knows dies. Like in Deep Space Nine, like his
Pretty
brother
much.
gets brainwiped. His son. His wife gets murdered. What does Worf get?
It's like Miles must suffer. Worf must suffer. Everybody's got to suffer.
Yeah, but I don't know what your like happy ending would be. In like, how do you make
Just
a
Kalar
you want
lives.
to
Like
break
he still
that
has,
mold? I'm fine with that too. Like, what do you make her at the end of the show then? Like, if Martog is
strategic head of strategic operations on Deep Space Nine because Worf's gone, being ambassador to Earth. So, no, I'm kidding. That's a joke.
That's true.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
not
again,
sure.
if she's still, well, it could be a kind of a continuity thing. If she's still the captain of Kronos 1 and like just, she's been the captain through like 3 chancellors at this point, and she's going to still do her duty. The first thing she did was install like backup emergency gravity generators. All Kronos 1 has that.
and
And a full medical suite
yeah.
on deck 2.
All right. I don't know. I feel like we're running out of stuff here to talk about, but that's okay. Is there anything else you guys wanted to bring up? Anything that comes in your mind? Kalar, Alexander?
Can she travel to like can she and Alexander, when they're swapping Alexander for a day, are they traveling by photon torpedo tube? Just a big one, then a little one like tacked onto it.
Oops, we put Alexander in the wrong torpedo tube. Oh no.
It's going into the sun.
Wait, a dead body? Wait, that means.
No, actually, I like your thought there, Philip. I do like the idea of like no reason to kill the character off. She could just be a character that lives through.
Then
all
she
of
could be on
this stuff
Star Trek
and
Online
isn't-
in some role. You could play the Kalar mission.
And it would also show a different kind of family, of a split family sharing joint custody, which we don't see in Star Trek.
Yeah.
So that could be an interesting way to do that.
Something I didn't even think about, but Philip kind of touched on this earlier, like if they had some ritual, but it didn't have to be a ritual. But let's just say before Jadzia's and Worf's wedding, Worf does have to make his peace with Kalar. So she comes by with Alexander and her current mate or whatever. And like you're saying, like maybe
and like
they'll
the
have a-
episode where she had to talk to Martok's family too.
Yes,
like
exactly.
so like he's got to get all his ducks in a row.
We all want to see the episode where Worf and Borf are stranded on a planet and are forced to work together, and they have to
To get the transmitter to the top
Exactly,
of the
they have to
mountain.
argue about father parenting styles.
Well, you left your son. Well, your name is almost my
You're
name,
a
and
lawyer,
it's really
not a
weird.
warrior.
Oh, lawyer, not warrior. Really smart there, Worf. How long did it take you to come up with that one?
Poems and operas that I've written.
By Kalus's name, I can't believe you're going to be...
Eat any good books lately?
Wait, I thought you were going to say by Kalus's name, I cannot believe these savings. But anyway,
Aw, R.A.P.
But I like you said, I like that thought, though, Daniel, of him having to talk to Kalar and Borf. And
I would love. I mean, it would be great, like you said, to see a split family. And like,
Yeah.
what if she comes back and maybe all that conflict is just with Martog's family still, but Kalar comes back and is really supportive.
yeah.
And
maybe
it's
there's
you
like
know,
a triangle table, because like obviously there's a ritual and for these kinds of things in Klingon society. So you have like a triangular table. Worf is on one side of like the new family that he wants to start, and then the other two sides are the old and the new, and they're passing on the responsibility. And it's because I mean I could see Klingons being like, because he's basically like finalizing a divorce kind of in that way. And it's like, I could see Klingons being, we could choose to, there's got to have some ritual combat in there, or something going on.
or like Jadzia's going through that whole rigmarole with
right.
I can't remember her name.
Yeah. And then
and
Worf's going through hell with Kalar's
Borf.
side. Like they're all suffering.
Well, no, I was thinking actually that Kalar could come in and be the one to save like Jadzia from that woman, like talk sense into that woman, be like, you're being a fool.
Smack her around a bit.
You're stuck in our old. You're stuck in our old ways.
woman.
Maybe
This
they could
woman
fight,
was
yeah.
chosen by Worf.
Yeah.
Like she knows what
Just trying
that
to do
means.
like a whole woman cast
This is
episode. I mean, you have Worf, of course, and Martok, but like
Yeah.
after that,
Well, Borf would be there. Yeah.
But they're not the
No.
main players. It's old lady. It's old lady Martok,
Old lady
Kalar,
Martok.
and Jadzia.
That'd
I
be
think it's
great.
the lady Martok, if I remember correct.
Well, whatever they go with. I love however Martok talks about his wife. It's so,
Yeah.
so cute.
Martog's a great character, man.
He is.
So, and of course, I bet you Martog would really like Kalar.
Oh,
Bet you
I think so.
he'd try to adopt her into his house too, but we don't know what house.
And then Lady Martok's all like, "Why are you looking at a younger woman?" Yes. And just giving him, and then he's like, "Oh," and then he romances her with his poetry or something.
And she could be. Oh man, Kalar could be at the
Yeah,
wedding.
cordially
even though
invited.
None of our TNG characters are, but Kalar could.
I mean, technically, she is a TNG character. At
She
this point,
gives
so
away
yeah.
Worf.
I mean, they didn't really have an aisle. It was a really weird ceremony. I barely remember.
Well, I remember,
it, but-
Worf and Dex and their finery and
yeah,
Yeah, he's got that thing. on
crown.
his-
they got crowns. Yeah.
Yeah. She's all red, dressed in red, blood red, right? Yeah. Yeah.
I love how Klingons marry with crowns. It's very,
Very
fitting.
Greek Orthodox.
Well, because they're not in this temple before gods, because we
Exactly.
killed all our gods. So we're more like we're all royalty because we're Klingons. I can see that.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Just closing thoughts. You guys have anything else? I mean, we talked a bunch there. I don't know if anybody's talked about Kalar as much as
We
just
win.
Did
I don't
just-
think so.
Wait
This
until we
episode.
get into
I
our
really
What If
do-
Dr. Salar was on Voyager. Yeah, you guys are going to love it.
Hey, we could put what? Man, I don't know.
What
how
if
we would
Lady
do
Q stuck around more?
that. What I was thinking real quick was like, how do we have Kalar interact with B'Elanna?
I was thinking of that for a second, and I can't think of a way because she's literally on Chakotay's shuttle, and then she doesn't interact with anyone in Starfleet or anything
yeah,
until
Academy.
we're in. Yeah, so I was trying to think of that, and I'm like, I can't think of a way.
It would be cool, just to.
I mean, maybe in a similar way, like in Drone or Prototype, whichever one that was, where she's talking about data, and there's some reason to talk about other like half Klingon, half humans, and Kalar's name gets dropped. But like that's
I
the
can
only
think of
thing
a
I
way.
think
It's
of.
another name drop, but in the episode where she's trying to genetically modify her baby, Tom could
yeah.
bring it up because B'Elanna could be like, our baby's
Look at this
Yeah,
badass
'cause,
woman. Why would you not want her to be like that?
Wait till our baby's going to be, not accepted, or people are going to call her a freak, just like they did my did. What future does she have? And Tom's like, she could be assistant to the chancellor. Actually, it says assistant chancellor. Ambassador Kalar.
Captain of Kronos 1.
What about if they're from the same house?
They're cousins.
They could be
And
cousin-ish.
is cousin spelled with a K?
Q
Klingon cousins.
Cousin.
Yeah, it's harder with B'Elanna,
Yeah,
but I think,
it is.
like you said, a name drop could happen.
Yeah.
And I liked what Philip said, yeah.
Yeah.
How are we getting her on Enterprise, guys? Is that where we're going?
You mean her
No,
grandmother?
No. No.
Yeah, her grandmother, and then she knew Worf's grandfather
Like, it's
in the trial of
complicated.
Kirk
It's
and Bones.
Listen,
and it's
Susie, you can thank us for these hypothetical paychecks some other time, but you're
When
not
the
going all the way back.
Andorians meet the Klingons in Enterprise, and we have Suzie Plakson playing the Andorian as well as playing Suzie Plakson the Klingon.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's true. She's already in Enterprise, so
Yeah.
I had forgotten that. I don't know why. I'd forgotten that she played that Andorian.
Yeah, she's great. Like I said, she's the female Jeffrey Combs. So
She is.
Let's just like neither of them have been ever. Whatever, man. Discovery or Picard season 2. One of these shows need to put those two people in as an actual recurring character, like an actual cast member, instead of just a recurring character. So, but yeah, Kalar is awesome and great and fantastic. But I think that's good. That's it. Well, Philip, if people want to talk to you about which Klingon house you belong to, how do
They can
find you?
just Google K apostrophe, and it'll probably autofill after that. And they can find me also on Twitter at
doesn't want
NC
to talk
Public
about it.
Service.
And Darren, if people wanted to give you a good kapla, how would they find you?
Oh, yes. Lots of kapla when we experience Bij. They can find me on Twitter, Twitch, or Instagram under username Dr. Sci-Fi, DRSCI.
So you're saying in the
And if people want to get a hold of me, they could find me on Twitter at OneUpDan. That is the number one, as in the Klingon homeworld, home city planet is number one. Let's go.
Now I'm just imagining that in the Klingon a DVD challenge, we have not Kalar.
There you go. Always good time to bring up the Klingon challenge.
All right. For this week, I'm Daniel Prue,
I'm Philip Kilfist with a K.
I'm Darren Moser.
stranded here on SETI Alpha 3.